Hi guys, welcome to another video and welcome to Ron and Gina's YouTube channel. So guys, this time I decided to talk about my experience since I came to the Philippines and 3.5 years ago. And you know, it's been good and it's been bad things. And that's the thing, you know. The people you want me to say many times that only good things have happened, and everything is like a paradise I'm living in, and you know, and that's not true. Not for me. That's not for me. You know, and you know. I will make it very clear. There are good people and bad people in my country, in every country. And it's the same in the Philippines. It's no exception. I met good people. I met not so good people. Like my experience when me and Gina moved to Cebu, you know, and rent the place there, a house with the kids. And, you know, she didn't say anything. I sent the money and she didn't say anything about the store she wanted to build outside our bedroom. So when we came there, we from Tacloban to Cebu, and then we start buying furniture and everything, you know. And then one day she came to sign the contract and everything. And then she started talking about, I want to build a business outside your bedroom, and I will take up the whole yard, so you can't use that. You know, you have that small space over there. And I said, what? And me and we didn't agree about it. We said, no. Then she wanted to kick us out. And I already have paid, for 3 months. And that money was gone, of course. So, yeah. So, we thought about it. And then I said, we decided we have to go to Barangay Captain. And I only been in the Philippines for 5 months. So this was my first experience of, having to do this. And I didn't know anything about the Barangay Captain or, everything. But I said, I won't, just get away and move. We just arrived here and we bought furniture and everything, and start building our home. And now she's dropping this bomb, So we went to the Barangay Captain, we had a meeting and everything, and he agreed with us. Because he asked her too, so you took the money. And you didn't mention anything about the business, anything at that time. No? And now, they have come and they have 4 kids and, and you want them to move. So, we had a long talk about it, and then she has to sign a contract for 5 years in the end. But we didn't want to stay anyway, so we moved after 5 months to Cavite. And then the same thing happened there, We met a woman who lied to us and her husband, And then, so we came there and, the place was a mess. Not the place she showed us. And then, when we talked about it, and I asked the kids, do you want to live here? No, they didn't want to live there. So, and then they tried to, because we want our money back. But they tried to, and then I said, okay, I'm going to tell everybody, all my friends on TikTok, Facebook, everywhere, about this. I'm not going to hold back because this is not right. This is not right. We don't deserve this. Our family don't deserve this, to be treated this way. You lied to us. But in the end, after, couple of weeks, then we get our money back. But I haven't. I told her that, that I will tell, we never have any money back. forget about it. So, there, like I said, there are good people and bad people you meet in your life in every country. And some are good and some are bad. And I can't sit and say, if people ask me, I can't say, oh, everything has been fine and no. I have a lot of experience of bad people too. Even when I try to buy something, a bike, and we agree about one price, and the next day the price has gone up sky high. Yeah, so, there is a lot of things that have happened, We took a taxi one time, and what happened was, we were going to immigration. We came from Cavite, we take a taxi in Manila to the, to the immigration. And then he started talking to her in Tagalog. And he said, yeah, but you're with a white guy now, so you have to bless me, I want something, so you can help me now so I can get 800 pesos. And the trip will cost maybe 250, 300. And Gina said, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to lie to him, And he get upset. And then when we were in Manila, middle in the town, he dropped us off. And this was a guy in my age, 60, 65 years old. So, but I'm still here. I'm still in Philippines. And I won't leave. But, this is the thing, that even if you tell the truth about things, then I see people get very upset. Go home, foreigner, go home. And even foreigner are saying that to other foreigners. You shouldn't say that. You shouldn't say that. Be negative about the Philippines. You shouldn't be doing this and shouldn't be doing this. And I don't understand that. Why should I lie about things or hold things back? Why should I have to lie? I'm not a liar. I don't want to be, a liar and hold things back. And so people that watch my YouTube channel, and then I tell them things that is not true. I won't do that. Not on my channel. And if people don't want to watch or, they don't like it, what I have to say, okay, fine. But I won't be quiet about it. I have positive things to say about Philippines and negative things. That's it. And it's the same. I try to live in the province too. The sheep life and everything, It wasn't that cheap. It was really expensive to live in the province with 4 kids. And it wasn't that cheap. Not for us, I have to pay only for the kids every month, for our 4 kids, 10,000 just for go to school, forward and back for them. So they could go to school. And that's not cheap. That's not cheap. Not for me, who is a pensioner, And I'm not from US, by the way, either. I'm from Sweden. So I have Swedish money, not US dollar. So that's also a very big difference that people may not understand, That's the currency. We don't have the same currency. The guys from US have US dollars. And they are the only one. You have a Canadian dollar, you have, but only US have the American dollar. So that's it. And my money is not the same as the American guys. And the salary is not the same because we have a totally different system. There are so many things that are so different in my country from US. We have a tax system that is so different. So, there are a lot of things that I want to say because people may not understand. So many people in the Philippines think that I am from US and that I have the US dollar. And I have to explain for them many times, I don't have US dollars. So, because I'm not from US. I have friends from US, but I'm not myself from US. So, this is one of the things that people misunderstand. I don't have my own bank. I don't have, I live on a pension. And the pension, in my country at least, and in most countries I think, is much less than when I worked. So I'm not a millionaire when I came to the Philippines. I don't have unlimited money. I don't have my own bank or something. So, so that's the only one thing that I have to think about too. When you take care of 4 kids and you're 6 people, in your family, that will cost a lot of money. I don't care, what people say, but and I have 4 kids back home in the 80s, who was growing up in the 80s. And it was expensive then, back in my country, and it's expensive in the Philippines now. It's not cheap to have the kids go to school, college, and everything. It's not cheap. Maybe you think that, but I don't think so. I don't think so. And that's because we don't have the same system like they have in US. So for them, maybe, everything is much more cheaper because, But I have to think about how it is in my country, not in US or England or whatever. I have to think about my country. So that's also a point, that I'm trying to make to people, I can't. So when I see people talking about the value, this is cheap. Yeah, for you may be cheap, but not for me. It's not the same. And I know a lot of guys I met also from US who don't have a lot of money. Not everybody sit and have $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a month, because they don't have that. So because you're an American, you don't have a lot of money either. So I met a lot of guys who not have a lot of money from US and from other countries, So that's what I'm trying to say to people, because we are white, we are not just millionaires because we have look like me and white. That's one thing also to people to understand. Because it's an important thing, because people think that you can afford everything. You can pay, for things twice, 3 times much in the province. If you go by the, tricycle, you have to pay 3 times as much. And if the kids go to school, it's the same. Why? Because I'm white. So we have unlimited money. So the kids, yeah. And if you don't want to pay, then they don't go. It's not a body. You try to talk to them. No, not a chance. So, there are a lot of things to make it more, make it harder if you're a foreigner and you don't have $4,000 or $5,000 a month. Then, it's not the same. So, and I love the Philippines. I'm still here. I have a lot of bad experience, like I said. Believe it or not, but I have. And, the prejudice against me because I have tattoo. I have a lot of tattoos. I've seen that too. But, I love the country anyway. I love the people too. But not everyone. I don't love the people who don't love me. I don't, and everybody say, you should be grateful to be in the Philippines. And I say, I'm grateful to be in the Philippines, to be allowed to in the Philippines, of course. But the Philippines should be happy to have me. I'm not doing any crimes. I pay my visa, and I pay, all my pension goes to this country. So why wouldn't they be happy to have me in any country in the world? I don't break any rules. I don't break the law. I pay, for staying here. And I put all my money and I help, my kids, and I help who's not mine. So I'm doing something good too. So people may forget that, And So to hear all the time, oh, you're doing this, and you should be happy about living here in the Philippines. You're a guest. Yeah, I know I'm a guest. I know that. I'm never going to be a Filipino. I know that. I'm never going to be seen like a Filipino. I know that. I know that to 100%. I remember I saw Filipina P. I think she has a channel on YouTube, and she said that it doesn't matter, and that was the beginning when I came. It doesn't matter what you do. Even if you speak, Bisaya, Tagalog, whatever, fluent, you will never be, as a Filipino, recognized. And for me, it doesn't matter. That's not a big deal. Because, I'm me. I'm a foreigner, and that's it. That's it. I'm just happy if people treat me with respect, so I treat them with respect. But to expect that I should treat people with respect, if they disrespect me and they don't know me. I can't never do that. Not in my home country, and not even in the Philippines. I would agree to that, because that's a simple thing. If everybody wants to be treated, with respect. That's it. And if they treat me with, I treat people with respect. I try to be kind to everyone. But if they are unkind to me, don't expect me to be kind back. No. I'm not an idiot. So, I love the Philippines, but, like I said, I am here. I'm staying here. And to hear all these foreigners, most annoying is the foreigner who tell every other foreigner, oh, you have to go back home now. They tell other foreigners to go back home. They are not Filipino, they are foreigner themselves. And they're sitting and telling everybody else to go home. It's just insane. And many times just because you have an opinion that people may not agree. And like I said, people may not agree and think, what I say, they don't like that. And I don't care about that. You don't have to like me. You don't have to agree with me. But, I am who I am. And if you don't like me, I don't try to impress everybody. I'm too old. I'm 65 years old. I have a bad heart. So I don't know how long I'm going to be on this earth. I don't have time for this bullshit with people. I don't have that time. I don't try to please people. I just try to be myself and try to be kind to people who are kind to me. That's it. And all I'm trying to say, Philippines have wonderful people, and, too. I met a lot of people who were wonderful too, who are really nice and really helpful people. So, and that's what I'm trying to say, is there are both sides of living in the Philippines, especially as a foreigner, I want to tell the truth about how I experienced as a foreigner my life in the Philippines. It's no one else's life. I'm talking about me, not everybody else. I can only talk for about my life, how I experienced the Philippines. And that's what I want to do. That's one of the reasons I have this YouTube channel, me and Gina, that we can talk about things and be real to people about it. So that's it, guys, for now. And I hope everybody has have a good life and are well. And, treat each other with respect and kindness. That's the best thing to do, to be kind to each other, loving to each other. Life is very short, very short. And we need to be kind to each other. That's a really important thing. So guys, take care till next time. Bye bye.